Dear Radiant Libra soul, pack your bag for millions because a major financial breakthrough is already moving toward you between October 28th and 31st, 2025. And trust me, this isn't a metaphor. It's an energetic reality unfolding now, and your name is being whispered through the portals of divine timing. You didn't land on this video by accident. The universe doesn't operate on randomness. It weaves with precision, and your presence here is proof that something bigger is unfolding. Maybe you felt a pull to click. Maybe you've been seeing the number 888. Or maybe your intuition has been whispering that something is about to change, something that doesn't feel small. Whatever brought you here, know this, it's sacred. This is not just a horoscope video. It is a spiritual invitation. You are not here simply to be entertained. You are here to receive divine alignment. Between October 28th and 31st, the cosmic energies open a rare financial portal, one that is especially attuned to the frequency of Libra. And if you're willing to prepare energetically, emotionally, and spiritually, you may just be the one who walks through it with grace, clarity, and abundance. In these coming moments, we're going to explore what this breakthrough means for your sign, from planetary alignments to tarot confirmations, sacred rituals, divine color codes, and even the numbers that may already be trying to get your attention. This isn't about fortune telling. It's about energetic readiness. And Libra, few signs are more spiritually poised for elegant transformation than you. Have you ever felt like your life is quietly rearranging itself behind the scenes, like something magnificent is just around the corner but hasn't fully revealed its shape yet? That's not your imagination. That's divine preparation. And during this financial window, everything is aligning for you to become the clear, grounded vessel through which miracles can finally pour in. Sometimes, God speaks through silence. Other times, He speaks through signals, a video like this, a repeated number on a receipt, or a sudden memory that stirs something deeper. And when those signs appear, our only task is to respond gently, honestly, with trust. You are not asked to be perfect, only present. You are not asked to know everything, only to be willing. So I ask you now, Libra, are you willing? Are you willing to believe that this is your moment, not in some distant future, but now? If you've been praying for confirmation, this might be it. If you've been waiting for a door to open, this may be the knock. Let this moment be sacred. Let this video be your soft yes to the blessings already heading your way. And if you felt a stirring in your heart already, even just a flicker, don't let it pass in silence. Honor it. Speak it aloud. Anchor it. In the comments below, write, I am ready to receive my divine financial breakthrough. Your comment isn't just for the algorithm. It's a declaration. A magnetic signature. A prayer in motion. It tells the universe that you are not just scrolling. You are listening. You are ready. And you are choosing to participate. Let me also take a moment to say thank you truly for being here. Every like, every comment, every share, every subscriber. You are what fuels this sacred space we've built here on Zodiac Whisper Tarot. Your energy makes it possible for these transformational messages to reach those who need them most. And believe me, beautiful Libra, you'll want to stay with me until the very last second of this video, because what the universe is revealing next is nothing short of breathtaking. Now tell me in the comments, my beautiful Libra family, what brought you here today? What signs have you seen? What has your soul been whispering? Your journey is already unfolding. Let's walk through this portal together. There are moments in life when the sky itself seems to speak not through thunder or spectacle, but through subtle alignments that only the attuned heart can recognize. Right now, Libra, the celestial conversation is about you. Above your head, the planets are moving into rare harmony, and their choreography is not random, it's purposeful, delicate, and deeply personal. From October 28th to 31st, the sky invites you into a sacred pocket of time where intuition meets motion, and where long-hidden blessings prepare to rise to the surface if you are willing to respond. As the moon transitions from Pisces into Aries, a remarkable energetic shift takes place. Pisces, the sign of spiritual sensitivity and emotional depth, heightens your inner awareness, your gut feelings, your quiet knowing, your dreams that feel louder than logic. And as the moon then enters Aries, it doesn't let those insights float away. Instead, it urges you to act on them with courage and immediacy. This movement in the sky reflects a movement in your life, a call to transform reflection into motion, to take the ideas and desires you've held close and bring them into form. If you've been waiting for a sign, Libra, this is not only a signet, it is momentum. But the most powerful activation for your sign in this window comes from your ruling planet, Venus, forming a harmonious trine with Pluto. This is not a soft or surface-level event. Pluto rules transformation, depth, and rebirth. When it touches Venus, the planet of value, beauty, and money, it often uncovers what's been buried beneath doubt, fear, or distraction, especially when it comes to self-worth, relationships, and the energy of receiving. For you, Libra, this means that something you once dismissed, an old project, a connection, a gift you never pursued, could now return with new life. Not because the opportunity itself has changed, but because you have. This is a chance to rewrite your relationship with money and abundance, not by forcing anything, but by releasing old stories that told you it had to be hard, complicated, or out of reach. Venus and Pluto don't just offer external blessings, they invite an internal shift. And in that shift, your frequency begins to match the very things you once thought were for someone else. You become a match for miracles not by chasing them, but by preparing to receive. This is also a window to remember that not all blessings arrive loudly. Sometimes, the most important changes come gently through a message, a soft idea, a quiet yes. Many people pray for breakthrough, for clarity, for confirmation. But few realize that the breakthrough often starts not with a lightning bolt, but with a single step: one inspired email sent, one message answered, one forgotten folder opened again. A woman once shared with me that for months, she had prayed for provision while continuing to ignore the small nudge to revisit an old service she used to offer. One evening, she simply reactivated the web page. The next morning, she received an inquiry. The week after, her flow of income returned. It wasn't magic, it was obedience to timing. If you've been caught in indecision or waiting for the perfect moment, this week's alignments whisper, the moment is now, and it is already perfect in its imperfection. What if you acted not because you're sure of the outcome, but because you finally trust the inner voice that's never stopped calling? What if you didn't need guarantees, only gentle faith? In our busy world, it's easy to ignore these cosmic invitations. Life demands attention, responsibility, control. But this is where divine timing intersects with divine permission to let go, to lean in, to trust that when the sky opens, it's not to impress you. It's to invite you. As the heavens align in your favor, you are not asked to leap blindly. You are simply asked to listen, to prepare, and to begin, because breakthrough often arrives not at the finish line, but in the quiet act of saying yes before you see it. Sometimes, messages don't come to us as answers, but as reflections, mirrors we're meant to look into. When these three cards appear, the Empress, Ace of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune, they don't just predict an outcome. They invite transformation. They whisper truths you may have forgotten in the noise of life, and in this precise moment, they ask you to remember who you really are beneath all the roles, responsibilities, and delays. These cards aren't just symbols. They're sacred reminders of what is already inside you, waiting to be claimed. The Empress comes forward first, not to promise you abundance, but to remind you that abundance is your nature. She represents creation, nourishment, and the divine power of what grows when it is nurtured with care. She asks a difficult but liberating question: have you been overlooking your own value? Not in loud, dramatic ways, but in the quiet ways we dismiss our ideas, delay our voice, or put our needs last in the name of waiting for the right time. The Empress doesn't operate on permission from the outside world. She flows from within. Her presence here is a message. Your readiness to receive begins with how you treat your own inner worth. Then comes the Ace of Pentacles, a card that many desire, but few recognize when it actually appears. Why? Because it's often quiet. Subtle. It can come as a message in your inbox, a casual conversation, or a thought you suddenly feel pulled to act on. It's not the lottery ticket or the grand gesture. It's a sacred offer wrapped in simplicity. And the moment you recognize it and choose to say yes, you open a channel for physical, tangible blessings to reach you. But if you're still waiting for a clearer sign, a perfect condition, or a louder affirmation, you might miss it completely. This card says, you don't need to chase it. You only need to say yes when it gently arrives. And then, the Wheel. This is the moment where timing aligns with decision. Where energy becomes movement. The Wheel of Fortune doesn't spin at random, it responds to momentum. If the Empress is your worth, and the Ace of Pentacles is your invitation, then the Wheel is your response. This is when you decide whether to stay in place or step into the rhythm of transformation. Too often, we wait for the wheel to turn fully before we act. But here's the truth: it begins to move the moment you begin to believe you are part of the motion. In a world filled with uncertainty, it can be tempting to wait until everything is guaranteed. But faith, real, quiet, life-changing faith, is rarely loud. It's often just a single step made without proof, a whispered yes made before the outcome is visible. One woman once shared that for years she prayed for a financial breakthrough while continuing to say, "maybe later," to every inner nudge. One day, after a long walk and a short prayer, she decided to send a message to someone she hadn't spoken to in years. That single act opened a doorway she had no idea was waiting. It wasn't magic, it was trust in motion. And sometimes, that's all it takes. Let this moment be a sacred pause. A mirror. A whisper. Ask yourself, not from fear, but from clarity, what would shift if you truly believed your next opportunity was already near? Would you still wait for a louder signal? Or would you start preparing now? This is where your power lies, not in predicting the outcome, but in positioning your energy to welcome it. You don't have to force open the door. But you do have to reach for the handle. Life will meet you where you're willing to begin. And right now, Libra, everything is aligning not because something outside of you is changing, but because you're finally ready to say, I deserve to receive. I am no longer waiting to be chosen. I choose myself. Not every preparation looks dramatic on the outside. In fact, some of the most powerful energetic shifts begin in stillness with an intention whispered before sunrise, with a quiet decision made in solitude. When we speak of your $1,000,000 bag, Libra, we're not talking about a physical object stuffed with cash. We're speaking of a field of frequency, a state of being that signals to the universe, I am ready now. This is not a concept for the mind to analyze. It is a vibration for the soul to hold. And once you hold it long enough, the outer world can't help but respond. You see, every financial blessing that finds you first passes through your energetic readiness. If your heart says no, even unconsciously, nothing can stay even if it arrives. But if your energy whispers yes, with clarity and calm, the blessings don't just arrive. They land. They root. They grow. That is why I encourage you to create your $1,000,000 bag, not as a ritual of superstition, but as a gesture of alignment. It might be a small envelope, a wooden box, a folder tucked inside your journal, or even a digital note saved on your phone. It doesn't matter what it looks like. What matters is how it feels when you hold it, name it, and begin placing your trust inside it. Naming this vessel is just as important. Call it something sacred, something that feels personal and full of intention. Maybe it's Libra Legacy Vault, or my Divine Receivables, or the Abundance Drawer. What matters is that each time you see it, your body remembers, this is who I am becoming. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm ready for. Now let's go deeper. Why is this important? Because your physical actions echo into your energetic field. When you take a simple act like placing a handwritten affirmation in a box or whispering a truth before your feet touch the ground, you're signaling that you are not just hoping for abundance, you are preparing for it. And there is a world of difference between those two. Hope watches the door. Preparation opens it. Each morning, I invite you to begin your day with this one line: I am ready to receive what is already mine. Not because you're trying to manifest faster, but because the habit of declaring readiness creates a new internal rhythm. Over time, it replaces fear with trust, urgency with calm, and doubt with gentle confidence. There's a quiet truth tucked in scripture that says, those who are faithful with little will be trusted with more. It doesn't mean you have to prove anything. It means that the universe or life itself responds to consistency, not perfection. When you start tending to your energetic field with even the smallest gestures, you show that you're willing to be present with what's sacred, even when no one is watching. That's when the shift begins. I once met someone who began her abundance practice not with a vision board or a goal, but with a single sticky note inside a shoebox. Every day, she wrote one sentence about what she believed she could receive, even when her life felt completely opposite. Weeks passed, then months. One day she received an unexpected check in the Milan-old tax refund she never claimed. It wasn't millions. But it was proof. And sometimes that's all we need to deepen our trust and open more. So let today be your beginning. Not of effort, but of clarity. Not of pushing, but of preparing. Choose your vessel. Name it. Add one sentence to it today. No rush. No striving. Just presence. Because life bends toward those who dare to meet it halfway, and your $1,000,000 bag is simply your way of saying, I'm showing up now, and I believe what's mine is already on its way. There are languages the mind will never fully understand, but the soul recognizes instantly. Color and number belong to this sacred category. They don't need to explain themselves, they simply appear, and something inside you stirs. Maybe you've noticed a soft pink sweater calling your attention lately, or perhaps the number 8 keeps following you, unshaken, showing up on clocks, receipts, or even page numbers. These are not coincidences. They are alignments. Gentle signals from the universe that you are walking through a moment that matters more than you realize. Just as we've prepared our energetic field and chosen to open our $1,000,000 bag, we now shift into the frequency of deeper awareness. Color and number are the frequencies you wear, see, and feel, but they also work silently beneath the surface, activating belief, dissolving fear, and guiding your steps without ever raising their voice. That's why in this window of financial awakening for Libra, what you wear, what you notice, and what you resonate with matters. Soft rose is the frequency of self-worth in bloom. When you surround yourself with this color, you're not just making a fashion choice. You're stepping into a gentle agreement with your own value. It tells your nervous system, I am safe to receive. I am allowed to feel good. I deserve softness and success. For many people, this is the exact energy they've unconsciously been resisting, because somewhere along the way, they were taught that comfort had to be earned through struggle. Pink gently rewrites that story. Light blue, on the other hand, helps you tune in without losing balance. It represents inner guidance, spiritual discernment, and graceful decision-making. It's a color that says, I hear what my heart is saying, and I'm not afraid to follow it. Especially in moments where financial decisions or emotional clarity is needed, light blue can act as a filter, helping you separate noise from truth. It brings peace where pressure once lived. Gold is perhaps the most striking of all, radiant, royal, and deeply symbolic. It reminds you that receiving is not a question of worth, it's an acknowledgement of lineage. Abundance is not just for others. It belongs to you, too. Gold energy doesn't ask, do I deserve this? It declares, I am here for what's mine. So when you place gold around you, even in the smallest detail, a necklace, a pen, a candlelight, shifts the conversation from insecurity to inheritance. You're not begging the universe. You're stepping into what's already been made available. Then there are the neutrals, gentle grounding forces. Gray, silver, and beige are not dull, they are sacred stillness. When finances begin to move, whether through gain or uncertainty, these colors hold your energy steady. They remind your spirit to breathe. They create space where panic cannot thrive. Sometimes, true prosperity begins not with action, but with quiet stability. And just as colors speak, numbers guide. The number 8 is the symbol of flow, of infinite movement that never runs out. When this number shows up repeatedly, it's not to tease you. It's inviting you to stay consistent. To keep going. To water the seed even before it breaks the soil. The law of attraction responds not to bursts of belief, but to sustainable trust. The number 10 is where cycles reset. It says, what began in uncertainty can now be rewritten with power. It reminds you that your story isn't over, just evolving. Meanwhile, 28 marks the threshold of this sacred financial window. If you've been wondering when to begin, the answer is soon. And 31? That's the moment of activation. It whispers, you're not waiting anymore. You're stepping forward now. So if you've been seeing these numbers, write them down. Circle them in your calendar. Trust them. Don't overthink their appearance. Just allow them to speak. In your own quiet way, respond. Wear the color. Notice the number. Take the next small step. This is how the universe speaks softly, but deliberately. And Libra, if you've made it this far, then you're already listening. Even the most powerful alignment in the sky waits patiently for your response. This isn't about making a grand gesture or suddenly transforming your life overnight. What shifts everything, what stirs the energy that's already around you into form is often just a single step, a quiet, yes, an act of readiness that may seem small, but echoes loudly across your entire energetic field. Libra, your breakthrough is not waiting for perfection. It is waiting for presence. It is waiting for you to meet it halfway, not with force, but with faith in motion. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need to feel completely confident. What you need is willingness. A moment of trust. A nudge followed by action. That email you've been meaning to send? That idea you've been quietly sitting on? That person you've been hesitant to reach back out to? These aren't just coincidences. They are gentle invitations. And the difference between the person who watches life shift and the one who steps into it is often nothing more than one brave move made in the middle of doubt. One of my clients, a Libra just like you, waited nearly 9 months before acting on a creative project she deeply believed in. She kept telling herself the same thing many of us do, not yet. I'm not ready. I need more clarity, more proof, more signs. But those signs had already come. Repeated numbers. Unsolicited encouragement from friends. Dreams she couldn't shake. Finally, in a quiet moment of surrender, she posted one simple comment on an old blog post, nothing elaborate, just a whisper of visibility. That comment led to a conversation. That conversation led to her first contract. And that one small act became the doorway to 3 years of consistent financial flow. She didn't need a miracle. She just needed to respond. Sometimes we confuse preparation with procrastination. We tell ourselves we're waiting for divine timing, but really, we're scared to move until we feel certain. The truth is, you rarely feel ready for the thing your soul is most called to do. Readiness comes after the response. Movement creates clarity. And clarity creates confidence, not the other way around. This is where your faith becomes real, not religious faith, but embodied trust. The kind of trust that whispers, even if I don't see the whole path, I know what step I can take today. The kind that doesn't wait for a thunderous sign from above but responds to the soft, persistent nudge in the heart. In the sacred words often spoken in moments of quiet instruction, knock, and the door shall be opened. Seek, and you shall find. The door doesn't swing open because you wait outside long enough. It opens when you knock. Your knock doesn't need to be perfect, it only needs to be honest. So what would happen if you took one small step this week without overthinking, without a full guarantee, just to see what meets you on the other side? Would you submit that application? Would you post your offer? Would you write that sentence that's been circling in your spirit for weeks? This is your opportunity to shift from passive wishing into aligned doing. Not to impress anyone. Not to fix what's not broken. But to say clearly to the universe, I am here, and I am available. If you felt guided by any message this week, even if it came as a whisper, this is your moment to respond. Let this be your sacred act of alignment. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be true. Because your life doesn't require perfection to move. It only needs your presence. And that small, simple action you take today, it might just be the very thing that opens the door. Sometimes the most powerful transformations don't happen in thunder or chaos, they begin with a whisper. A quiet decision. A moment like this, where you sit with the truth of your own energy and say, without hesitation, I am ready. You didn't come to this video just to be entertained. You came here because something inside you, maybe something you've kept hidden for a while, knew it was time. This wasn't just about astrology, or tarot, or frequencies. This was about you remembering who you are, and more importantly, who you're becoming. We've walked through a cosmic map together, one that is uniquely tailored for your Libra soul. From the celestial alignments that opened the door, to the sacred symbols in the tarot that confirmed the blessing, to the colors and numbers speaking in the language of your deeper self, to the gentle actions you can take to match what you're calling in, and finally, to the quiet but undeniable shift in belief that only you can activate. And if at any moment during this video your heart whispered, yes, this is for me, please don't let that energy go unanchored. The most important thing to understand right now is this: no one else will claim your breakthrough for you. No one else can walk through the door that's been designed only for you. The path ahead will not require perfection, but it will require participation. Divine timing opens the portal. But it is your choice that turns the key. You may still wonder, am I truly ready? Do I really deserve something this good? And to that, I offer this: readiness isn't a feeling. It's a decision. It's a sacred yes whispered before all the answers arrive. It's the gentle echo of faith in motion. Because when you begin to walk, heaven moves with you. What if the shift you've prayed for is already in motion, and your only task now is to stay open, stay awake, and take the step that's already rising in your spirit? What if this isn't about effort but about alignment? So, dear Libra soul, I ask you with sincerity, what would happen if you allowed yourself to believe that the breakthrough has already begun? What message has been following you through numbers, colors, dreams, or repeated thoughts? Are you willing to say yes even if you can't see the whole picture yet? If the answer is yes, then take a moment now to anchor that energy by commenting below, I am ready to receive my $1 million blessing. And if you've been receiving subtle signs, perhaps the number 8, or 28, or a dream you can't quite explain, share it. Your story might be the confirmation someone else has been praying for. Let's build this frequency together. Let's honor the sacred container we've created here. Like this video if it stirred something true in you. Subscribe to Zodiac Whisper Tarot if you feel called to keep receiving the guidance that aligns with your soul's timing. This isn't just a channel, it's a sacred circle. And you are already a part of it. From the deepest part of my heart, thank you for being here. Your presence is not small. Your energy contributes to something bigger. And I truly believe that if you walk forward from this video with just one thing, it should be this truth: You don't have to wait for anyone else to bless you. You don't have to wait until you feel fully prepared. You are the one. You are the vessel. And you are ready. Now go. With open hands, with grounded faith, and with the quiet power of someone who finally knows that the door has always been waiting for you.